Today's topic of today's video is about BPD Limerence. And no, not BPD and Limerence, just BPD Limerence. I want to talk to you all about why it is so hard for me to let go of my limerent object as a person with BPD. And it is due to something called melancholia. Yes. Now, if this is your first time ever hearing about limerent object or melancholia and you have no idea what that is, then watch the video. If you have BPD and you also struggle with letting go of your limerent object, then watch this video to the end. Now, I want to first start off this video talking about my limerent object. At the end of the video, I have more about limerent object and melancholia. I'm using an article that is what's helping me with today's topic. Is an article that I will add to the description box. So that way, after this video is over, you can check it out. And I highly recommend that you do, especially if you have BPD and you're having a hard time letting go. Okay, so I'm going to save that towards the end because I will read some bits that stood out the most to me. Yeah, so that's at the end of the video, and you definitely want to watch to the end so that way this video can make sense to you. Okay, so let's get into it, you guys. I want to first start off by talking about my limerent object. So what exactly is limerent object? Well, that is pretty much a person or a relationship. Okay, so my limerent object is my ex-best friend, Jane. Now, her real name is not Jane. Okay, I'm just calling her Jane for the sake of this video. So yes, my limerent object, you guys, is Jane. This is a person that I'm struggling with letting go. Our friendship is done. It ended. It ended already. It ended years ago. But I can't move on from that. I'm having a hard time letting this person go. Now, I talked about Jane a lot on my channel, and I'm always crying. Well, sometimes I'm crying, sometimes I'm not. I made a live, and I titled that live A Very Emotional Live. I'm crying on there about Jane. I also made a video on my channel, crying on that video as well. So as you can see, this person means a lot to me, especially as a person with BPD, okay? This person was my world. It meant a lot to me. It was like my sister, pretty much. So I want to pretty much talk a little bit more about my limerent object into a little bit more details, not too much details, but I want to give you guys an idea of the type of friendship we had. Okay, so it all started when we were 9. Okay, I met her when we were 9. We were both 9, same age. Okay, born in the same year. We went to the same school. Okay, from 4th grade to 8th grade, we went to the same school. We lived in the same neighborhood. We caught the same school bus. I was able to be myself around this person. I don't like calling myself weird anymore or strange. I'm getting into the habit of calling myself unique. So I was able to be unique around this person. We were like, I kid you not, like close, very, very close. Okay. And like any other friendship that established and turned into a best friend type thing, it's because you have a lot in common. You do everything together. Like I said, this person's like a split image of you when it comes to personality. That is how a best friend is established, right? I'm sure we can all agree on that. So this person became my best friend. We did a lot of things together. Like I said, we went to school together. Now, we did not go to high school together, and that was so hard. High school was difficult for me. I had to make new friends, which was hard. I'm a very quiet, timid, shy person. So making new friends was hard. It was very difficult not having my ex-best friend in the same high school as me. 9th through 12th grade was torturous. But we did go to college together. We went to the same college. We went to college together, which was around the time of the fallout. Okay, so fast forward, the fallout. I would say we were probably 25, 26 maybe. I would say 25. I'm 40 now. Okay, I'm 40 now. But at the time, I think we were like 25. We had a fallout. I will not go into details what this fallout was about. But I will say this. We definitely could have fixed it. We could have fixed it, okay? We could have reconciled and fixed it, and I probably would have still been friends with this person today. But, you know, some hurtful words were exchanged. And because I thought the friendship was going to end, or because I was so hurt, I did what people with BPD do out of fear of rejection, and that is to end the relationship first. Now, not to confuse you, I was not diagnosed with BPD at the time. Now, I know today, like when I think about it, I had BPD in my 20s. I know I had BPD in my 20s. The signs were there. I ended the friendship first out of hurt and fear of rejection, okay? And that was that. The friendship ended. And I'm sure she was hurt or shocked, like, whoa, you ended the friendship? Like, whoa, we've been friends for years. Okay, I see how it is. And I'm sure she was hurt, shocked, confused, and whatever how she was feeling at the time when I ended the friendship. So yeah, years had went by, okay? Year after year after year after year had went by. It took a while for me to realize that this friendship is actually over. And that is why so many years went by. And so many years went by that it took me that long to realize that, hey, you know what? This friendship is over. Now, what made me drag it so long, and what I mean by drag it so long is because I can't let this friendship go. What made it drag so long is because I left the door cracked. I talked about BPD door slamming. When a person with BPD door slams, like slam the door and lock it, that means we came to terms. We came to reality that this is no longer it. I'm done. This is over. And we will slam the door. Once we slam the door, as a person with BPD, when we slam the door, it's done. There's no coming back. Okay? It is buried 6 feet under. However, what I did was when I ended this friendship, I left the door cracked. Meaning I left wiggle room for things to be fixed, for us to reconcile. And I did that for years. That's why I said year after year after year. What I mean by that is I'm thinking that, okay, we're going to fix this. We're just mad at each other. It's going to be fixed. But no. Years went by, years went on, nothing. Now, just about maybe I would say 3 years ago now, I did reach out to this person. I was like, you know what? Let me be the bigger person. Let me reach out to Jane and see if I can fix this. And I was excited too. I'm like, ooh, I think I'm going to finally, we're going to finally become friends again because I'm the bigger person. I'm reaching out. I'm ready to fix this. But boy, was I wrong. And I should have never did that because I didn't get the results I was looking for. And it hurt me 10 times more, you guys. Ooh, when I tell you, when I was reading the messages and stuff like, and once I realized that this person Jane do not want to fix this. Ooh, the hurt as a person with BPD. When we realized that, okay, this is over. And it took years for me to realize, okay, this is over. Because like I said, my door was cracked. I'm talking about a decade, you guys, maybe 11 years, 12 years before I messaged this person. That's how long the door is cracked and still is cracked. But the door still is cracked. But yeah, that hurt. When it hit me, when it dawned on me, like, yes, this is over. Ooh. Crying, bawling mess. A crying, bawling mess, you guys. The world felt like it was over for me. I was in a dark place. Dark place. My headspace wasn't okay. My MDD, which is major depressive disorder, that was triggered. My anxiety was triggered. Pretty much all of my mental illnesses were triggered. I should have never did that, thinking I can fix it. But it's nothing wrong. If you think you can fix something, it's nothing wrong. I mean, a lot of years went by, but it's nothing wrong to try to reconcile, okay? It's nothing wrong with that. But I wish I'd never did that, to be honest. I wish I'd never did that. And there's 2 sides to the story. She had her own story. You know, when there's a fallout, there is 2 sides to the story. You guys can only go by what I'm telling you. And the reason why I know that she has her own story is because what she was saying in the message had me confused. I was like, wait, huh? She has her own story to what happened. And I can't recall, I'm like confused. I can't recall that. Like when I was reading the message, I was confused. But anyways, you guys, so that's that. So what exactly is making it so hard for me to let go of this limerent object, Jane? Well, of course it's BPD. Okay, if you got BPD, I'm sure you can hear the split attachment. I was really attached to Jane. That's my best friend, my ex-best friend. Really attached to this person. And not in an obsessive way. I'm not an obsessive person. I will not call somebody 1,000 times. I do not need you near me all the time. I would not go to your house unannounced. That's not me. But I was definitely attached to my ex-best friend, you guys. Very attached. Okay, so BPD is one of the reasons why, but here's another thing, and is what I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Melancholia. Now, in case you're wondering what melancholia is, well, pretty much that is when someone is frozen in grief. Okay, frozen in grief. You are stuck in a loop of grief. When there is loss, what do we do as human beings? What do we do as human beings when we lose someone? We grieve. We go through the what? The 5 stages of grief, right? You mourn. A healthy mourn is when you go through the 5 stages of grief. That's the healthy mourning. However, with BPD, it's different. When things happen to us, like a loss, for instance, because the emotions are so intense, we can easily get caught in melancholia. We can easily get caught in this cycle. We get stuck in this loop, frozen grief loop. And I didn't mourn properly. One of the reasons why I did not mourn properly was definitely because I left my BP door cracked. When I ended that friendship, I should have slammed it completely and locked the door. That's what I should have did when I ended that friendship. But because I didn't, and I left wiggle room for, for us to reconcile or for us to fix things. I said reconcile. All that did was it caused me to get stuck in a loop. It caused melancholia to develop, pretty much. Frozen grief. I did not mourn properly. I didn't. And it sounds like I need closure, right? It sounds like I need closure too. I hear closure and also regret too. I have a lot of regrets ending this friendship. I do. I have a lot of regrets, of course. Because like I said, I believe it could have been fixed. Maybe for her, maybe not, but I believe it could have been fixed. But anyways, you guys, so that is melancholia. Okay? If you have BPD and you are having a very difficult time, a very difficult time letting go of your limerent object, now you know why. Melancholia. And if you knew, now I'm using past tense, if you knew someone with BPD and they still kept sticking around, they were still calling you, they were trying to fix the relationship, they were trying to get back into your life, now you know why. It is because of melancholia. This person did not mourn properly. They're still trying to hang on to what's not there. That is also melancholia. Okay, so now you know why that person that you once knew with BPD is having a hard time letting you go. Now you know why. And yes, it's because the attachment, the BPD attachment, yes, but it's also melancholia. Okay. Oh boy. So I've been trying to think to myself, you guys, like, I need to heal from this. And in that article, this is why I told you to make sure that you look at this article when this video is over, because in that article, it states how to work on yourself with this. If this is what you're struggling with as well, I highly recommend that you look at this article, because there's a section in there that talks about how to heal from this. My thing is, I think I'm going to have to heal from this by properly mourning. Radical acceptance. If you've taken DBT, if you have BPD and you've taken DBT group before, you'll know what I mean when I say radical acceptance. We got to accept that this is over. And here's another thing that's interesting that I'm going to read in a minute. Because I'm stuck in melancholia, another reason why this is dragging, another reason why it's hard for me to let go of my limerence object is because in my imagination, in my BPD brain, in my psyche, we are still friends in my imagination. Isn't that a trip? And if you have BPD, let me know. Let me know if you do the same thing. Like, I am still friends with my limerence object in my imagination. This is one of the reasons why it is so difficult for me, you guys, to let go. In my brain, in my fantasy world, we are still best friends. And I will go over more about that in a minute at the end of this video. I created the friendship in my imagination. I'm still idolizing this person. Yes, a split. I'm still idolizing this person in my imagination. And it feels good too. I know it's fake. I know it's a fantasy, but it feels so good. And because it feels safe. It's like a coping mechanism, right? I'm sure this is a coping mechanism, but it's unhealthy healing. It's unhealthy healing because, like I said, it feels safe. It feels like I'm still like, I know we're not friends in reality. When reality hits, when the reality check hits, when radical acceptance hit, I know we're not friends, but I'm hanging on to this person in my imagination. But you're friends with me in my imagination though. Hey, we may not be friends in reality, but you're friends with me in my head. No, that's not okay. That's not okay though. I need to stop. I need to stop that. I need to mourn properly, grieve, let it out, get it out of my system. And I need reality to hit that this friendship is over, Chrissy. Okay? That is so hard to do if you have BPD, the attachment. I really don't, and I'm not, and that's the thing, I'm not ready to accept that this friendship is over. I want to hang on to the fantasy. I even have dreams about like when I'm dreaming about my limerence object, we're friends in my dreams. Sometimes we're not. Sometimes we're not. If I'm dreaming about my limerence object, the way she behaves in my dream is like, you know, we're not friends, right? It's interesting how dreams work, but 9 out of 10, when I'm dreaming about my limerence object, my ex-best friend, oh yeah, we are best friends in my dreams. So that don't even help as well. That don't help as well. So I pretty much reached the end of this video. I want to now go over the bits that stood out the most to me in this article that I want to share with you all. And when I was reading this particular article, I was like, yes, this is me. It spoke to me. It spoke to me. And I don't know if this is going to speak to you, but I know it spoke to me. It made so much sense. It's like that light bulb moment. Like when the light bulb comes in the top of your head, like, oh, that's what that is. Because I was trying to figure out, why is it so hard for me to let go of my ex-best friend? And now I know why. Now I know why. So I'm going to cover my whole entire face with this because I want you to read along with me. Let me get it ready here. I'm going to read it so we can read it together. And then after I read this, it's fast. It should take me no more than 3 minutes to finish reading this, okay? So just hang in there. It's very informative information, so I highly suggest that you don't click off this video. Definitely, listen to this and read it along with me. So after I'm done reading, you guys, I'm going to come back to the screen and then conclude this video, okay? All right, let me get it ready. So here we go. So I'm going to read where it says limerence stages and psychoanalysis. So to explain limerence, psychoanalytic theory may offer the most compelling framework. In psychoanalysis, limerence may find its root in phenomenon known as melancholia. It is when a person cannot properly mourn or let go of a lost object Here, an object refers to a person or relationship. In healthy mourning, when we realize a relationship has ended or is not going where we want it to be, we enter into a process of grieving. We detach, reconfigure our sense of self, and move on in our lives. But in melancholia, we get stuck in a loop. In essence, melancholia is frozen grief. Paradoxical as it may seem, we get stuck and feel unable to move on because the idea of separation or letting go feels more threatening than maintaining the painful attachment. But because we are holding into something that is not there, we have no choice but to recreate a version of the relationship in our mind and sustain that through our imagination. When our need for attachment looms larger and larger, our identity becomes wrapped up in an internal relationship that exists only in our psyche, rather than engaging with present reality, where we create a cycle where we're unable to move forward with life as it actually is. When the templates of frozen grief or splitting becomes ingrained in our psychological architecture, it sets itself up for limerence. Melancholia keeps us attached to what's lost, while splitting helps maintain the attachment by preserving an idolized image. In limerence, you find yourself splitting off any awareness of your limerence object's flaws, limitations, while maintaining a reinforcing the idea that they hold the promise of unconditional love you crave and deserve. What are your thoughts on that? That's all I can say. This spoke to me, you guys. This made so much sense to why it is so difficult for me to let this person go. And if you have BPD, I'm sure some of you, not all of us, is going through this. That the friendship is done, that the friendship is over, but yet you cannot let this person go. Yet you are still in this relationship with this person. Yet you are still married to this person in your head, in your imagination. Yet this person is still your best friend. In my case, in your imagination. And that's not okay. That is dangerous. It's not healthy. We have to properly mourn. Healthy mourning. And also radical acceptance. In the article, it didn't mention a lot of childhood trauma. Okay, childhood trauma. Am I shocked though? Are we shocked about, childhood trauma? Childhood trauma shapes who we are as adults. I'm not shocked. So it talked about the root cause, like the root cause of this. I'm telling you guys, please go check out this article, okay? And let me know your thoughts. This pretty much sums up the video, okay, you guys? I'm pretty much done. I'm glad to know what this is. I'm glad that there's a name to this. There's a label to this, because it's going to help me heal, move forward. It's going to help me come up with my game plan, because I'm a problem solver. I like solutions. I'm a channel of healing. I don't only want to talk about what I'm going through without at least coming up with some kind of solution or plan. But I think I know what I have to do. I don't know about you, if this is what you're suffering with or that you're going through. I don't know what your game plan is, but it's time for me to come up with my game plan. I have to seriously let this go. I'm hanging on to this person in my psyche, in my imagination, and that's not okay. It's preventing me from, living my life in reality for what it actually is, like what the article said. Okay, that is it. Please let me know your thoughts. If you have BPD and you're going through this, you cannot let your limerent object go. I want to hear from you. When you guys are saying things in the comment section, that also helps others that discovers this video, that want to read comments. The comment section is so important, as long as you're not being mean or rude or disrespectful. Other than that, please drop a comment. And if you knew someone with BPD and they're still attached to you, they can't let you go, the thought of letting you go is painful to them. Now you know why. It could be because of not just attachment, but it also could be because of melancholia. And maybe you have to let this person know, if you don't mind, if you're still kind of somewhat talking to this person with BPD that you once knew, let them know, like, hey, what you're going through is something called, I learned about something and it's called melancholia. and let them know what this is. Maybe that person that you once knew with BPD who cannot let you go, do not even know that is melancholia. I never even heard of it. This is something that I learned and searched. You learn something new every day, right? That's it, you guys. So that sums up this video. And if you made it to the end, all I ask for is a like. Do not subscribe to this channel if you think you cannot, benefit from it. I only want people who think they can benefit from this channel to subscribe. Okay, I have other things that goes on my channel. If you want to take full advantage of my channel, I go live sometimes, like go live where my camera's on and I'm interacting with you all, or I do something that's a group panel. That's something that's just got released in my channel last week. It's new. It's a group discussion panel where I want people to come up and speak on my panel. The only requirement is that you are not a minor, no children on the panel, and that you are a loyal supporter. That means you comment on my videos, you attend my lives. I consider you a loyal supporter. You do not have to be a subscriber of my channel to partake in this. But yeah, so check that out. So there, there's a lot of things that go on my channel than just videos, okay? That way you know exactly what goes on over here. I am a channel of healing and support. I want us to support one another when we're going through things. If you had like some kind of outbreak or some kind of breakthrough, not an outbreak. If you had a breakthrough of something or a win, something great happened and amazing happened, check in and let everybody know, because whatever happened to you may help someone else. You don't know that. So make sure you check out my lives, or check out whenever I'm live. And or like I said, always comment below your thoughts and things like that, so you never know, we may be helping people and you don't even know it. You might be helping someone and don't even know it. So that is it. That is all that I have for you in today's video. I hope it helped. I hope that article helped. My name is Chrissy, and pretty much I talk any and everything in regards to mental health. And I talk about my mental illnesses and how I struggle with them on a daily basis. And thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you in the next one, you guys. Bye.